Blockchain Show is a podcast that demystifies cryptocurrencies and distributed ledger technology.
Welcome back to the Blockchain Show. Got Venn Anderson and a voice you have not yet heard. Daniel, welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So I think that we should talk a little bit about try to help out some of the new people in this space. I know there's probably some people who have been sitting on the sidelines and haven't yet entered and bought anything yet. So if you're, a long-time listener, this episode is probably way too basic for you. But it'd be probably a good episode to share with some of your friends,
Yeah, maybe even learn something like me where you've been doing it a while and then you figure out you've either been doing it wrong or you could have been doing it better. So there might be a few of those in there too.
Yeah, for sure.
I agree. There's I've only been doing it for what I feel is like a year, but there's so much to learn. And I don't know much, but I've encouraged others who are looking to get into Coinbase because it's a very easy platform to understand, a very easy platform to maneuver, and it's a solid tool.
Yeah, you said it feels like a year, but it's been only 3 days? Good joke.
I got the gray hairs to prove it with all the ups and downs.
Crypto is nuts.
Yeah, it's fun, man. It can be addicting staring at that screen, man. Wishing, thinking how it could have been, what I should have done. But I like it. I mean, I feel kind of embarrassed talking to some guests, and that's just, I don't know, it's just what I prefer. It's easy. I know there's other ways to do it. You can get more advanced with API wallets and stuff like that, but someone who's just kind of getting into it, or, not too, don't want to get too far in the weeds, I think it's a great place to start.
Yeah, nobody bets this. I know there's a lot of people kicking themselves for not buying Shiba Inu, apparently, because that is the one that if you put $1,000 in, was it like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, you'd have hundreds of millions or something like that. And what a shitcoin that one is. I should stop saying shitcoin because it's like a meme coin, Meme coins, like a shitcoin doesn't have any purpose, but if like it's a meme and people are having fun with it, I mean, I think that's a purpose.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it doesn't really do anything other than go up or down in value.
Yeah, well, as long as it goes up, because I'm one of the ones that put a little bit of money into it in a couple of weeks ago before it started skyrocketing. By a little bit, I do mean a little bit. But I hear there's news that it could be on a few platforms here very shortly, which could help its growth. So it's all about helping you fill your pockets, right? So if the coin does that, then it's not a shit coin to me.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad at picking out meme coins. I picked out Dogecoin early, but haven't really jumped on a single meme coin since.
Yeah. So getting a Coinbase here. So what are your guys' thoughts on this particular platform, and how easy it is to use, and would you recommend it to the starters out there?
I definitely would. I think that Coinbase is, the only exchange that is listed on a New York Stock Exchange. It's very secure. They have FDI insurance for if you have, USDC on there or United States dollars on there. It's incredibly secure. It's incredibly safe. Not your coins, not your keys, but if you're the type of person who's just investing for space, I think the easier one is Robinhood. However, Robinhood does not have, you don't have the ability to withdraw your coins yet. So that's kind of why I like Coinbase better. We do have an affiliate link for Coinbase, or referral link. So if somebody wants to help support the show, you can sign up and get you get a free $10, and the show will get a free $10. One of the other things I like about Coinbase so much is for beginners is that they have a few different ways to earn coins. So they have like an earn and learn program. There's Clover is one of the coins you can earn and learn. I think. What are some of the coins that you earned and learned on, guys?
So I can tell you that I earned. I'm not sure that I learned so much, but the most recent one they had was Bounce. Bounce, you watch a few videos, you answer a few questions, and you answer 3 questions, you get them correct, you get $1 per question, and that's beneficial. That actually helps, in my opinion, cut into some of the fees that they do charge, because they do charge a fee. It's relatively modest. That helps make up your fees there, and then you can either keep the coin or you can trade it for what you currently like Ethereum, right? So there's been a few that they've had. They've had NKN, they've had Fetch AI, they had a coin called Chills. So they've had quite a few different coins where you can earn $3, and I think they say you can earn up to $25 just doing these little videos.
So the ones that you didn't mention were the Graph, AMP, and Compound. So those are still ones guys you can get $3. So that's pretty good. I've in the past told people who are looking to, just get their feet wet, or just I tell them, buy Bitcoin or Ethereum, or Bitcoin and Ethereum, at least $100 worth, and thank me in 4 years. I think that's if somebody is that much of a beginner, just buy it right off Coinbase. Stick with the basics for the most part. Get your free tokens, and I think that can help build like a newbie's confidence in the space.
Yeah, I agree. And Coinbase itself has over 100 different coins to purchase. So, and they add at a consistent basis. So it's definitely a good platform to refine and learn your skills, and then move on to a more complicated platform if you see fit.
We've had a couple of the different, developers from different projects that are listed on the show. Obviously, people from Bitcoin and Ethereum have been on, but Scale has been on a few times, right, Ethan? And we just did an interview with Cello. So, and if those are things you're looking for, it's a pretty good place that if you didn't purchase it, Cello, as soon as the episode came out, you can go, and you don't have a Coinbase account, you can go there right now and pick up $100, get a free $10, and then buy some Cello if that's what you want. I like that project. What do you think of that project?
Yeah, I liked it too. It's gone up since the summer, which is kind of cool. But yeah, there's been quite a few. I was looking on our website to see if we've talked to other people. I mean, we've certainly had projects that have failed, but I'd say the majority have gone on to keep working and developing or morph into something else. So there's a lot on there.
Yeah.
So it's relatively easy to open up a Coinbase account. I mean, you just need your driver's license, right? A internet enabled device, right? Phone preferred, so that way you can get your 2-factor authorization and get it safe and access that way, right? But it's relatively simple. I just signed my daughter up for it last night. I threw her 100, and I said, look, just buy something and let it sit, right? Don't worry about it. Earn your free tokens, and in a couple of years, take a look at it and see how it has developed.
Yeah, it's a really great on-ramp. I know I've gotten, my stepkids, in Coinbase. I didn't give them the money for it. They put their own money up, but it's certainly the easiest one out there. And I think that, anybody who hasn't set up a Coinbase account should do so and get the free $10. And, if they don't want to learn too much about crypto, but just want to be involved in the space, just forget about it for 4 years and you'll be pretty happy.
Yeah. Do you guys ever play around with staking on Coinbase?
Yeah, there's a few coins there that you can stake. I think it's Algorand, Tezos, Ethereum. Did they enable Polkadot recently? It's possible.
I don't know if it's for staking.
They got Cosmos
Cosmos, yeah, Adam.
and Dai.
Oh yeah, you can stake the stable coins too, right? You can stake USDC, but it's like 0.2% or something like that.
Yeah,
And you can stake DAI.
0.15. Yeah, 2% is Dai. Yeah. Currently, I'm staking Algorand, and I threw a little bit in Ethereum too, and by a little bit, I mean just a little bit, like $25, just to earn a little something and just to play around with it, right? Because I'm still learning, and it seems to have done well. So I'm really excited, especially the Algorand, right? You know, currently it's earning 4%. When I first started staking it, it was 6%. But that's that's you just leave it and it grows, and before you know it, you're pleased with the outcome. It's just don't worry about it day to day. Just let it sit there and do its thing, and when you go back to it, you'll be like you said, you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. What's your approach to buying crypto? Do you do like the dollar cost averaging, or you just kind of pick and choose what seems right at the time?
I pick and choose. I really should do dollar cost averaging, but I get a little tickle and I decide to just go in, $50, $100 here. And before you know it, I have 20 coins at, $50 to $100. And it really doesn't do justice. If I would have dollar cost average it, I think I'd be a lot more happier. But it's good to diversify, I think. So that's what I've currently done.
Do you want to explain what dollar cost averaging is, Ethan?
Well, as I understand it, you can probably do a better job than me. It's basically like a recurring investment. I've never tried it, but I was going to ask you: can you specify which coins you buy, or does it have to be for each coin individually, or how does that work?
Good question. So they've done studies versus dollar cost averaging versus like bulk buys, and buying everything up front has outperformed dollar cost averaging, but dollar cost averaging outperforms people who try to time the market. So the vast majority of people who try to time their buys off prices and sell when it's high don't do so well at that. Now, there are a number of people who are very good at that. But if you're, listening to this and you've made it this far, you are probably not one of them. So you either want to dollar cost average, which is taking a set amount each week or each month or each day, whatever it is. So if you want to invest, $10,000 and you want to invest it over the course of, a year, you would do, 800 and whatever it is a month. And just keep doing that. That way you get a better price when the price is going down, you get more coins, and when the price is going up, your investment that's already in there has gone up. So it's kind of win-win in the long run. You're going to, I think it's like 70% versus 30% for bulk buy. So if you have that 10K, 70% of the time you would have done better putting that 10K in up front, but most people don't have, they wouldn't have that vast amount to begin with. So just kind of like whenever their paycheck comes in, set aside, $100, $200, something that you're comfortable with, and just buy that every paycheck, right? Make that automated decision. And I suppose you could just buy whatever coins you like, right? I have trouble recommending anything but Bitcoin and Ethereum to people. I think that they are, the two coins that I feel pretty confident are going to be around forever, right? The other coins I'm not so sure about. They're a little more of a gamble. But there's there can be a lot more money to be made in the smaller market cap coins, especially if or like Shiba Inu and get a lot of social media behind them, or just the GameStop type movement that gets everybody to chase the same asset.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Because my problem is when the price goes up, I'm hesitant to buy, and then it keeps going up, and it's like, dang, I should have just bought it when I wanted to the first time. Get caught in that trap of wait until there's a dip, and you can never tell when that's going to come. The hindsight's,
it's hard to tell because I've seen a lot of people who wait for that dip, and they're just, I'm just waiting for that dip. And then when the dip comes, they say, oh, this is over. And so they don't buy. And they're really shooting themselves in the foot. Just make your decisions automated. I'm interested in cryptocurrency. I'm going to throw $100 at it a month, or $100 a paycheck, right? $50, 200, whatever they're comfortable with. And just don't worry about whatever price it is. I mean, to be honest, if I'm buying, I'll always put in like a market order for a little bit less than what it's at, because it typically bounces around a little bit. I'm not too worried if I don't get the price. That's always worked out for me. But I don't think I would have done that. I'm doing that much better than if I would just bought whatever, the market price is.
Yeah, that's part of my problem is that let's just say that I bought Ethereum at 2,200, and now it's 4,100. I have trouble putting in money because it's 4,100 and I bought it at 2,200, and I want to wait for it to go down, and then either it skyrockets or it starts going down, and I just hate paying for something when I know I bought it at a cheaper rate, right? And I think that's a lot of people in general. But you got to put it past you. You dollar cost average. That's the way they say to do stocks. That's the way they say to do crypto. In the long run, it's gonna all even out, and you'll be ahead of the game.
Yeah, I like to, in addition to my dollar cost averaging, is when I see a pretty big dip, that's when I try to go through the couch cushions to see what else I can find, because if there's a pretty big dip, I want to get in, right? But when it goes up, I typically don't sweat it too much. I just buy more. Ethereum is a token that probably will get to 20K within a year. So you're looking at 5x returns. Bitcoin should probably get above 100K, maybe like 135, something like that. So, I mean, you still have, 2-3x somewhere about there. And of course it could go more, right? If there's a big announcement that changes the game. It's just the market cap of Bitcoin is 10 times that what Ethereum is, I think, right now still. So it's a little harder to move that much. But if 3 or 4 different countries decide they're going to make it their national currency, it will, certainly get to 200, 300,000 a coin if something like that were to happen. More and more companies are, if more and more companies put it on their balance sheets, that will increase the price. I know that the firefighters pension fund just purchased Bitcoin and Ethereum to put in their pockets. So there are so many different pension funds that don't have crypto. You're at a spot right now where you can front run these people and get the coins before they're able to, and sell it to them much higher. It's not too late, right? There's been better times in the past, but now's a pretty good time if you're looking to get into the crypto space.
Absolutely. And I'm looking at Coinbase, and it's super easy to do the daily, weekly, 1st and 15th of the month or monthly on pretty much every coin. So there's a lot of control there, and you can turn it off if ever you're going through a rough patch. But do what you got to do. Recycle some bottles or part-time job for a little while. If you're like me, just get in on it, because Because Steve, I mean, you've been in this a long time, Steve. I mean, you've seen Bitcoin since what? It was like $40.
So the first time I heard about Bitcoin, I was on a gambling website, a poker website, and I believe the price of Bitcoin was 67 cents or something like that, right? It was under $1. And one of the guys there was like, this could possibly one day have like 10% of the market cap of gold, right? Which puts it about where it is now. And so you didn't need much odds of that happening for that to be a really good investment. Now, I kind of looked at that and thought, this is something that I need to watch. I didn't immediately jump at it. I didn't start getting into Bitcoin when it was around $100.
Yeah, that's still amazing. I remember the first time you told me about it, I thought it was something only people use to like buy gift cards on Amazon or something like that.
Yeah, buying drugs. I mean, there was the Silk Road. Silk Road was huge. You get on the dark web and you can order as much of anything you wanted. It was a weird time. But I mean, that's how these new technologies form. I mean, the internet was, porn, right? And gambling as well for a long time. That was its main feature. And then crypto definitely has its roots in dark markets. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that because there are so many governments that are corrupt out there, and there's I am in favor of say a woman in a country that doesn't allow her to earn money or own money using crypto to circumvent the government. So I am 100% on board with people using cryptocurrency to circumvent laws that their government imposes on them.
Yeah, that's true, man. I mean, if people really wanted to talk down about the origins of how Bitcoin first started getting used, they got to also consider like cash is vastly more used by criminals. So that's like an older attack that you used to see on like Wall Street Journal and stuff in the early days, hit pieces and that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's definitely died down quite a lot. What are the current attacks on? What are the current FUD that people spread about cryptocurrency?
That's a good question. I haven't really seen many.
Yeah.
Well, you're starting to see a lot. I mean, the U.S. government, accepting it more, knowing that it's going to be around for a while. So now they're trying to get their piece. They are getting their piece, and more governments, like Steve alluded to earlier, are making crypto their official currency. The buy-in is there, and it's still early on. There's a lot more growth. So just because you see it at an all-time high now, this is just the beginning, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's something like 21. Well, there's 21 million bitcoins at its max, and 4 million of those are lost. And there's, I think, what is there, like 71 million millionaires. So if every millionaire wanted a Bitcoin, that puts the price at Bitcoin of like $7 million or something. So if it becomes, an asset that every millionaire wants, let alone every corporation or every pension, there is a huge upside to a coin like that. Who's going to be, I think the value layer of cryptocurrency is going to be Bitcoin. I think that the scalability of it, like you're going to have Ethereum being what scales Bitcoin. So you will trade your wrapped Bitcoin tokens on the Ethereum network. I do not think Lightning Network is going to be the one. And, I'm all for innovation. So, and if Lightning Network is the way that Bitcoin scales, that's great too. But it's going to scale one way or the other. I think, are we getting too advanced for our beginner course?
Oh, I thought that was way over my head. But going back to Coinbase here, what I like about it and what I appreciate out of it is after you mess around with Coinbase, they have Coinbase Pro, which has over 250 tokens. The fees are a little bit less. It's a little more complicated. It has a lot more graphs, but it's they complement each other well. As you learn with Coinbase, you graduate to Coinbase Pro, and then you're able to understand the other wallets that are out there a little bit better, in my opinion.
I have found that there's a huge struggle when you introduce a new person to the space and talk about Coinbase and Coinbase Pro. I think you were one that I was like, just buying Coinbase Pro, and there's just the learning curve of trying to figure out the difference between Coinbase Pro and Coinbase was just too much. So you bought on Robinhood instead, right?
I did. I bought a few on Coinbase, but Robinhood I liked because they advertise no fees. Everybody gets their cut. How they go about it is a little different. But having a wallet to me is not important to me. What's important to me is I buy X amount of whatever coin it is, and I want to see it go up. That's what's important to me. So I know you're a little more technical. You understand the project themselves. You like to understand what their movement is all about. Where I'm a little more, as long as it makes me money today, that's all that matters. And it's been working.
There's definitely different types of people are looking for different things. And if you're somebody who just wants to buy a coin and sell it higher, regardless of, what value it adds to society, then that's fine. There's a lot of people like that. I'm definitely looking for a coin that I think fulfills some utility, corrects some injustices in the world, and has the ability to replace fiat currency where our government or the governments all over the world. America's not too bad. I mean, it's 2% inflation, but places like Turkey, Russia, Argentina, Colombia, they're at least lose half of their value every single year. So it's cryptocurrency is an amazing boon to the international communities, all the countries in the world that have worse governments than us. Now, that's not to say that it's still great for people, and people have proven it, right? Tesla has proven it. Tesla has made more in the year or so that they've had Bitcoin on their balance sheet from the Bitcoin and than they have from selling cars. MicroStrategy has made billions of dollars just holding Bitcoin, more than their consulting firm. It's a better store of value than United States dollar. It's designed that way. The dollar is designed to lose 2% year after year on average. With COVID and the 13 trillion that they printed and how they keep printing money, hyperinflation is going to set in, and that might get up to like 10% a year or something for the next foreseeable future, 3 or 4 years at least. So it's definitely a time to be purchasing these assets.
Yeah, I feel pretty comfortable with keeping stuff on the exchange at Coinbase. I have the Coinbase wallet. I've honestly never used it. I've wanted to, but there's a few coins I could buy elsewhere and keep on there. Interested to try out Coinbase Pro. I just haven't done it yet.
There's definitely cheaper fees at Coinbase Pro. You can put in market orders just like you can at Coinbase regular, but it's not as easy. Coinbase just makes it so easy, and I think anybody who's new to the space should just use the regular Coinbase until they get their feet wet a little bit. Or if you don't want to use Coinbase, use Robinhood, right? Robinhood is even easier. But I think that everybody, if they're committed to holding cryptocurrency for at least 4 years, nobody is going to be disappointed. I don't think it'll take that long, right? I think they're going to see immediate some pretty immediate price increases. It's getting towards the end of the year. The bull market is still has just recovered from the minor bear that happened in September, and this is just going to keep going up for the next. I think particularly Ethereum. Ethereum has so much on its roadmap recently or coming up in the Q1 and Q2, and with it being burned, it's just such a valuable asset for people. I'm like I said, I'm expecting 20K by middle of the year next year. So, what was your question?
You pretty much answered it. I was just wondering if it was something I should get into, or if I'm better off just staying on regular Coinbase.
Well, I was going to say Robinhood has a handful of coins, where Coinbase has just over 100. So if you're looking at diversifying and having a lot of different coins, Coinbase is the one. If you're looking at sticking with Bitcoin, sticking with Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Doge, Litecoin, there's a handful of others that are on there as well. A couple of fingers. I think they only have like 7 or 8 coins, if I'm not mistaken. Then Robinhood is the way to go. They don't charge no fees, but you're limited on what you can purchase.
I like how you mispronounced Doge. I always called it Dodge. But it's Doge. I don't know. I think it's funny.
Hey, call it what you want as long as it goes up.
What is that at now? Like a quarter?
Yeah, it's probably a quarter. I think it had gotten up to like 27, 28 cents. Then it went down a little bit. So as you're aware, Stephen, I bought when it was just under a nickel, and as soon as it doubled, I got out just because, hey, it doubled, right? Then it goes on to 70 cents, and then I'm like, what a dummy. So I go back in, and now my average is about 29 cents. So I'm down currently.
That is one of the hardest things in this space is they can trick you, and I think people need to be pretty cognizant of that if they're getting into the space. Like if you want to get into the space, you got to stick with like the upfront sum or the dollar cost average, right? Because when you try to time the market, it's really deceiving because you end up buying that top, that all-time high of a coin, because you put a little bit in and you sold it and it goes up and you think it's going to keep going up forever. And I don't, because we're in this bull market and this will continue to go on for 3, 4, 6, 7 months, something like that, right? And then there'll be a bear market. And so you don't want to start now and then in 7 months when Ethereum is 20,000, mortgage your house, right? You're going to get pretty fucked, I think, if you did something like that. Now, if you just dollars cost average and you're willing to wait, there's no issues.
Yeah, solid advice.
What was your experience like on Coinbase and purchasing, and what'd you pick up?
Well, it was kind of unique for me. We had on a guy a few years ago trying to start a app for tipping on podcasts called Podcrypt, and I think he kind of abandoned the project, but I got like between $5 and $6 worth of Ether back then.
Jared or something, right?
Oh, I can't remember his name. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, guy.
Pretty sure it was Jared. I could be wrong.
But yeah, I just forgot about it. It went into one of my wallets, and then I checked it again in May or something, and that was when the Ethereum went up to 4,000 the first time, and all of a sudden it was worth like $140. So I transferred into Coinbase, started staking it in Ethereum too. And it's just kind of a cool experiment, getting a little bit of, we're talking like $2 or $3 of staking, and then from there, kept buying little bits here and there. My whole approach was I'll spend like between 1% and 10% of what I make each week. And, if I lose it, it's not going to hurt too much. And honestly, I do like $10 purchases here and there because, they charge fees, and I try to get like, $10.99. So at least I get $10 of the coin. Some of those things have tripled, quadrupled, even more. So, and then, like we were talking about the little quizzes where you can earn some. I earned like $47. Obviously some of those have gone down, but some have gone up. And if somebody really wanted to, they can trade that for free into Bitcoin or Ethereum. And if you time that right, use the affiliate link, you get another $10 of Bitcoin. You can really, even if you don't have much, it doesn't take much to start out. It's just been fun, honestly, just watching it go up. I really don't have much in there, but I wish I would have done this years ago, because we talked about it, but for whatever reason I just didn't do it. Too afraid. I had bills to pay, and I couldn't justify it. But once I reframed it as, just take like a little bit, I don't have to make big purchases, but slowly over time, it can really turn into something. So that's kind of been my experience, and definitely want to keep playing around with it and get a little more serious eventually.
Yeah, it's definitely savings, right? The guy's name was Jordan Last, by the way. I looked it up. Yeah. So it's definitely, you got to think of it as savings. And one of the great things about crypto is once you start saving with crypto, you don't want to spend anymore, because it just keeps going up. Now, sometimes it takes a little while. There are some bear markets. I watched Ethereum go from, I think was it 2,000 to 100 at the beginning of COVID. So, that happened. But if you're patient and you're willing to wait, and it's savings, and you don't need it, right? If you can put $10 a paycheck in, if you can put $100 a paycheck in, and it's just savings, and you just save, it really changes your mindset when you have an asset. When you have a dollar and you watch its spending power go down, year after year, and you're aware that that's how it's designed. It's designed for us to become consumers and spend as much of it as we can as quickly as possible, because it just loses its value. So you've got to put it in something that that has a chance of increasing in value. And crypto right now is the best thing to be in my opinion. Other people do stocks or real estate, and I think S&P 500 is fine. It averages 10% a year if you just do a SPY or whatever SP, and that'll probably be even more of the next few years because of inflation, or because of all the printers of money that's happening right now, the printing of money. But there's nothing like crypto currently. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity to be focused on saving for your future. Now, there's a lot of people who just speculate and gamble day in and day out, but for me, it's really a way to save a portion of your work, so that the value of your dollar is not lost over time. I think investing in the stock market is good as well, but I don't think at this stage it's anywhere close to the gains you're going to see in crypto. Bitcoin averages like 200% a year, on average. Now, some years it goes down, but you have to be able to stomach that. You have to be able to. And if you are the type of person who can time it and know this is the top of the market, I'm going to sell near the top and I'm going to hold it, I'm going to buy near the bottom. I've done that, right? It's hard to do though.
It is. I've tried that as well, and I've been unsuccessful. But I think Ethan hit it on the head there, where really it doesn't take much. All it takes is a little bit to get started, and you'd be surprised how happy you are, a year, 2 years down the road, that you invested a little bit here and there, and it's proven. The results are proven, right? It just wasn't too long ago where Bitcoin had retracted back into the high 20s, right? mid to high 20s, and now it's up over 60. So imagine if you had just put a few dollars in it then.
The sad part is when that happens, all the people that had been on the sidelines waiting for that, they're like, "Oh no, Bitcoin's done." And it's like, no, now is like the time where if you have that, when it drops back down to those prices never seen before, it's not going away. It's on too many corporations' balance sheets. It's on a country as their national currency. It's in a lot of people's savings and retirement plans. It's not, this thing ain't going away.
I think you said that one time, when people refer to it as like a bubble, it's like bubbles don't last for like 10 years. It's proven, especially with Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's interesting to see some of the other altcoins kind of grow alongside it.
What are the altcoins you're into?
Cosmos, Algorand, Tezos. I've got very few of each. A little bit of Celo, some Scale.
I really like those staking coins. It's nice to have, something that you can stake so easily on Coinbase as well. If you get Cosmos, Tezos, you can. The problem with Ethereum staking right now is you actually can't withdraw it until ETH 2.0 comes out. And that could be as early as Q1 2020. But it could be as late as, I guess it could be as late as 2 years from now. I don't think that'll happen. I think, practically speaking, it'll probably be as late as Q3 2022. But, you can get, it's like probably like 5% on Tezos. You can get almost 5% on Algorand, right in Coinbase. And it's so easy to do. So I like those staking coins a lot too.
Yeah, I always get a little happy when I see someone that we talk to on the podcast and then their coins listed on Coinbase, like IoTex or Stellar, Lumens. Already mentioned Scale, so y'all pick up a few of their coins. Yeah, they're doing okay.
Yeah, Scale's been on a few times. I really like what they're doing. I really looked at that project and thought it was a good project. There's a lot of great projects in the space, and this show has on a lot of the really good ones. You've done a pretty good job of getting some really good projects on.
Thanks. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to know. There's definitely been a few on where it's like, I probably should just delete this, but I don't have the heart to.
It's tough. Yeah.
New and emerging space. So there's going to be lots of startups that fail. That's normal in any business.
I just like to make sure that, if somebody I'm interviewing, it's not a complete and total scam, right? Because sometimes you can see those coming too, right? Just like, oh, this one is just a scam, right? Or it smells of a scam, right? SafeMoon is one that I thought was a scam when I first saw it. I'm like, this is a scam. Apparently it's not. I don't know. Daniel, is SafeMoon a scam?
I will go on record now because I did buy in it, as you know. I believe that it is a scam, but I believe that there's coins out there that have started off as scams and actually still be able to make some profit, right? I mean, you still have buyers and sellers, and so it goes up and down. So I think there might be a place for SafeMoon, but I think you've convinced me that it's a scam.
I'm not 100% positive. It definitely seems like one. You don't want to share your story of SafeMoon, right?
Well, I bought into it when it was relatively new, probably 3-4 weeks old, and then I made some money. I got out. Should have stayed in because it went up tremendously, and then because of that, it went down again. I got in again, and I'll be honest, I haven't looked at it since because I know it's tanked. Few people that I know also bought into it, and whenever I talk to them, they're shaking their head, just upset that they even invested in it. But that's a chance you take in stocks, in crypto, and whatever you do. You take a chance of that project either succeeding, that stock going up, or down, right? I mean, that's just part of life.
I didn't know if you wanted to mention that you bought some more on an exchange, and the exchange it just like zero balanced you out.
Yeah. So I wasn't going to go into that, but yeah, so it's no longer there. But they probably did me a favor because you know,
No.
it was a crap coin anyways. But
I mean, who's to say that SafeMoon isn't in cahoots with the exchange, right? So you buy SafeMoon on this exchange, and then like 10% of the people who have SafeMoon, they just take all their SafeMoon.
I don't mind sharing my experiences because, to be honest, I mean that's how you learn, right? Uh, you learn by your wins and losses. So everybody's going to experience it.
What's your biggest win?
My biggest win, I had this one guy who told me to invest in Ethereum. So I have, and that's been my biggest win. Now, my biggest win on my own, without having anybody tell me, has to be Shiba. I know what you called it earlier, but it was a.
I've struck shitcoin for my vocabulary. I'm gonna stick with meme coin, right? Because that's what it is. It's a meme coin. Like I got no issues with meme coins. I like meme coins, but I mistakenly called it a shitcoin, and I should have called it a meme coin.
Yeah, well, a lot of people call it shitcoin, right? I mean, a lot of people. That's just a known terminology in the space here, but take I put $50 in it, and right now it's I'm $300 ahead. That's not bad. That's not bad. New Cipher is another one that I should have put more in when I first started, and that has recently gone up. So just starting to hit on these little ones where so as I told you at the beginning of the episode, I don't really think before I buy. I just buy, right? Like if something feels right, I just go ahead and do it. And I've been holding on to these for a little while, and it seems to have paid off.
Yeah, that New Cipher did pretty well because they released they merged with a different network, and I think it shot up, I don't know, 6x in a day or something like that, or a couple days.
Yeah.
Just out of nowhere.
It was unheard of. And then I thought about dropping it, but I held on to it because I'm like, well, if I drop it, what's going to happen. It's just going to continue to go up. So it has settled in. It's still done well, but take your licks and take your wins and move on.
It's impossible to bat 1,000 in the space. It's just it's so new, and it's impossible. It's really difficult to distinguish. Sometimes the straight up slap, right? It's just hard to tell. It is super hard to tell what is a shit scam coin and what is actually innovative. Because they've gotten pretty good at it. Now, sometimes you can tell a little bit, obviously if there's Safe Moon and then somebody comes out with the Moon Safe and then, Mars Safe, right? You can be pretty certain that Mars Safe and Moon Safe are shit coins that are just scam coins, right? But Safe Moon's tough to tell.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see here in a year or so, see where it's at. But for now, my wallet says 0, and I'm not going to fight it until it starts going up.
So I think Coinbase is all of the coins except SafeMoon are on Coinbase right now. So great time to get in to the crypto space. You get a free $10 and $10 for the show. And, hopefully you're new to the space and you've are learning something from this podcast. I know, a lot of our listeners would not be interested in this episode, but maybe.
Yeah, and like you said earlier, it's something that they could pass on and to somebody who they've been talking to and hasn't gotten in yet, and maybe this episode will convince them that is something that they want to at least wet their feet in.
We definitely need, to get everybody to be saving better, to be purchasing these cryptocurrencies and, securing their financial future, because this is the space to be in right now. There's nothing like it. You're getting in on maybe not the ground floor, but floor number 2 of a skyscraper, right? Floor number 3 of a skyscraper.
Yeah, man. And for people that, once they do get their feet a little bit wet, Coinbase has other options to kind of progress, like the wallet, or, as people get more advanced, they can send it out of their Coinbase account into some other, like, cold storage options, or have it live elsewhere. So
yeah, I mean, DeFi, once you once you get your feet wet, you can withdraw the coins to DeFi and earn yield on them. You probably need, with the gas fees on Ethereum, a lot more, but there's BlockFi is out there. We should probably do like a BlockFi episode. They also have a affiliate link. Just there's a lot of different places to put your coin and so they don't just sit there and not earn anything. There's the staking stuff we mentioned on Coinbase, but then there's other both centralized and decentralized way to earn a return on coins, either by loaning them out or just I think it's just loaning them out.
I like that, man. We might want to think about doing some other episodes, like you said, about BlockFi, or maybe even Robinhood when they come out with their new wallets and other rumored things. I'm sure you could think of like a dozen other beginner guides we could put out there, and maybe even to more like intermediate and advanced stuff too, as people get caught up, if you want to.
Yeah, there's no limit to what's going on, and it changes so rapidly. I mean, obviously NFTs are blowing up right now. I think Daniel picked up some NFTs from what was that company?
It was DraftKings. So it was Tom Brady NFTs when they first came out, and
yeah, that's cool. That's a pretty big one in the podcast circuit. You hear a lot of ads about DraftKings, and it's pretty popular.
Yeah, they just started getting into crypto. You're starting to see a lot of gambling sites offer crypto and your regular sports betting and your casinoing, right? So that seems to be a big thing right now. But yeah, no, if you can get into the NFTs, it's very easy to buy on DraftKings, and flipped it pretty quickly for a nice sum. So it's definitely worth a glance.
There's probably one more thing I should mention about Coinbase is that they just announced that they are going to have their own, NFT marketplace. I suspect it to be similar to OpenSea, but I don't know. I mean, maybe. So that's going to be, I think that'll be pretty interesting. I am not sure how long NFTs are gonna last. In a certain sense, the NFT technology is going to morph and is really going to, like Ticketmaster just announced they're doing NFTs, and maybe like ticket stubs will have an NFT, and maybe there'll be some value for that, some sort of social value, and that will continue. But I mean, we're talking to Cello last week, and they were talking about an NFT which has some sort of tie-in with actual trees. So you have an NFT of a tree, and it represents an actual real world tree. So they do carbon credits with that. And so there's the technology currently, for the most part, is just kind of like collectibles. And then they also, like, I have some stoner cats, and that's kind of an interesting project where the NFT gets you entry into the decentralized autonomous organization, the DAO, that is set up by trying to decentralize Hollywood. And there's just a number of different places trying to do that. If you're trying to make a cartoon about stoner cats, there's nobody who's going to invest it in the major space. So you have to look for funding from an alternative source. And so NFTs provided that, empowered these content creators to create content that normal Hollywood wouldn't. And so there's whole new paradigms will open up. There's whole new markets that are more on the long tail and don't have mass market appeal and don't, would not get the upfront cost of producing that will become available, because this is how the future of entertainment is going to be run. It's going to be NFTs in some way, shape, or form. If you're one of the first people into a band, you're going to buy their album. It's going to be an NFT. And if they get huge, that album will be worth, they'll pay their early adopters by that early release NFT album being worth a lot of money. So it's going to just revolutionize entertainment. NFTs will, yeah.
That's probably the best rebranding. Just instead of calling them non-fungible tokens, NFTs, because we've had guests on that would talk about them and they would refer to them as non-fungible tokens, and I'm sure most people's eyes would kind of glaze over. But
I like Nifties as well. Yeah, non-fungible token. It's because there's no person directing it. So if you have the tech people, the people developing non-fungible token, ERC 721, ERC 20. Nobody wants to call it that. Nifty, all right, I'm in. NFT, I'm in. ERC 721, what the fuck is that? And then me, I'm like, well, ERC stands for requests for comments. Ethereum requests for comments. It's basically a GitHub repository where people are looking to make improvements. And so then they ask the community about those improvements. And this particular one, ERC 721 was a 720, and like everybody's gone. Right. Nobody cares.
It's hard. I mean, you got to be pretty deep to, unless you go to like a blockchain conference or something like that. Most people are going to tune out within 6 seconds. So
true. Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see what Coinbase does with their Nifty market.
Yeah. I didn't even know about that. It's kind of exciting.
Yeah. I think it's about a week old where they announced it.
Yeah. I mean, they got a lot of features I haven't even taken advantage of. I've always looked at that card. You can join the wait list, and I've always looked at that and I'm like, man, that'd be kind of cool to have a Coinbase card in my wallet, but I don't want to spend my crypto. I want to hold on to it. So I haven't really pulled the trigger on that, but I like the idea of being able to go in a store, swipe the card, and pay with crypto, but I just don't have it. I don't have enough to want to part with any of it yet.
Yeah. Better not to spend. I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing that people miss about crypto. It changes a person's mindset. When they have crypto and it's going up in value, they don't want to spend it. It encourages savings. And that is just a huge benefit that people underestimate how strong it is to compel people. Nobody wants to spend an asset that's going to be worth double in a year, on average, right? And they're willing to, if it takes 2 years for it to double, they're willing to wait because they know it's going to be there. They don't want to spend that asset when it's down. And so that is the like, what's it called? The killer app, right? That is the main benefit of crypto, is that it helps people save. You could get a Coinbase card. You could spend your crypto with it, but you don't want to, because this is an asset that's going to go up in value. And that is probably the best thing about crypto. Absolutely, man. And whatever situation you're in, you should be putting some of it aside in savings. Whatever it is. If you can save some of it. Saving it in crypto. And when I say that type of stuff, I'm basically talking Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? I think that the lower market cap coins are a bit more speculative in nature, so you probably don't want to save in those. But I think if you're doing most of your stuff in Bitcoin and Ethereum, I don't see any issues with buying other stuff. But I mean, maybe you see a project that you really like and you just want to go all in on that, or be heavy more in Scale or Celo or whatever, right? Whatever Shiba Inu coin, right? Doge,
Cardano.
Cardano, ADA.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like diversifying crypto. I should. This is encouraging, man, because it makes me want to get more, back into Bitcoin and Ether.
The good thing is it's never too late, right? I mean, this is just the second coming, right? The first coming already came and gone, like Venn explained. We've missed out on the first story, but the second story and third story, it's still there. There's a lot of room to grow, so it's not late at all, man. Just don't wait too long, because then you'll be kicking yourself some more,
Yeah, I hear that. And with all these ETFs that are getting into Bitcoin, I mean, there's so much new money that's going in that's, it's not like before when people had a bunch of Bitcoin and then when that started to go up, they would, maybe use some of that, convert it into altcoins or vice versa. There's like a huge influx of outside money going in right now. So, I mean, it seems very promising.
Yeah, I think the new ETF that was just listed, I guess you can only sell a certain amount of them, or there can only be so many contracts. And I think they have reached or near reaching the limit. So it's a very, it's been too successful, right? So there'll be more of those more of those approved. And, Ethereum is not too far behind to follow to get an ETF approved. I think that the grayscale products will also become ETFs. So if there's a discount, a pretty big discount on those, it may be a good purchase. So yeah, once it makes it easy for people to put a little bit in their retirement funds. Right now there's the ETF, which is futures traded. So it's futures settled, not cash settled. Still need a cash settled one to make it really, and I think that'll come soon to make it really, there's a lot of money in 401ks and IRAs that don't have exposure to the crypto markets. And these ETFs are allowing that to happen to a much greater extent. So it's a chance to front run, to get ahead of all these people who are going to purchase, Bitcoin and Ethereum over the next months or years, because they're coming. They're coming. I always like it when Jamie Dimon says like Bitcoin is trash, because that JP Morgan is buying as he's saying that, trying to get the price down, trying to create some FUD. His company is out there purchasing while he's, bad mouthing, because his bad mouthing drops the price a bit. And it happens every single time. JP Morgan Chase buys Bitcoin at the same, right after JP Morgan goes out and says it's a scam. I don't know what he says anymore.
Yeah. I'm interested to see when people start referring to them as Satoshis, when the price of Bitcoin gets so high that we're going to be trading in those units instead of like still calling them Bitcoin. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but
yeah, it's definitely going to have to. I think that, a long time ago there was bits, which was, 1,000, 1,000. So 1,000 bits would be a Bitcoin. And some wallets did that. And I don't think that was very popular. I think the Satoshi has kind of caught on. I know that's what Lightning Network uses. So I think that's 1/16 of a bit, or 15 zeros and a 1, or is that 8 zeros and 1 a Satoshi? I think it's 15 zeros and a 1, right?
I'm not sure. I just know it's a lot of zeros.
Yeah, 15 zeros and a 1. Yeah, that'll change the game quite a bit. I think that studies were done, and people want a coin or want their stuff denominated. We're like a cheeseburger is between 1 and 10 of that, right? So they don't want to screw around with Bitcoin, where people have a real hard time, or they struggle with working with decimals. I'd like to buy a cheeseburger. That'll be 0.0002. It's not something that people are good at, or most people aren't good at. I'm not good at it.
Yeah, it's not really natural. We're used to like dollars and cents, 2 decimals at the most. So
yeah, leading zeros is not good. But most people right now use it as a savings vehicle or a speculation asset, so they aren't so worried about that. There's not, comparative to other forms of medium of exchange, there's not a ton of that in crypto, in Bitcoin specifically yet, but there's a lot. there's it grows more and more each day. And so if this was something that you sent to a friend and you want to use your own referral link, you should definitely do that, because if this is something that comes from a friend and says, I know you've been on the sidelines, I want to help you. I want to help you get involved in the space. I want to help you save money. I want to help you secure your financial future. Go ahead and use your own referral link. That's fucking great, right?
Well, what do you guys think? Should we wrap it up there?
Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
DC did a good job. First podcast ever.
Yeah.